YouTube, what's good, man? It's your man, Mr. Martin 45, back with another video, man. And in today's video, we're heading back to the paint booth. Why are we heading back to the paint booth? Because the Vette's almost ready, man. So we got paint on it. They're putting it back together now, which, like I said in my previous video, they pulled the doors, the trim, front bumper, rear bumper, target top, which y'all that don't know, the roof. Pull the roof off, pull the front and rear bumper, pull the doors, a couple other pieces. Some of that stuff I'd already pulled, as far as like the mirrors, headlight lenses, covers, tail lights, all of that stuff. So heading up there, man, to check it out, give y'all a bird's eye view into how things are going, how it looks. And hopefully, man, be getting y'all some content here pretty soon when it's all put together, as far as like all the exterior stuff. Get it good and clean. Still trying to get a clear detail on when my guy's supposed to color sand and buff it. Hasn't been color sand and buffed yet, so hopefully I'll have some of that info here within the next week. But if it's gonna be a while, I'm gonna go pick it up, have it with me, so then that way I can get started back on the interior, get my seats and my interior back in, get my carpet in, get my weather strip on, throwing the rims on there, buttoning up my lights, putting all of my brake lights and all that stuff in there. Which, as y'all know, I was going to have him delete that third brake light. Really, I guess it's kind of like a fourth brake light on the bumper. So for those of y'all who don't know, you're only supposed to have, again, if it's third brake light, you're only supposed to have one. I have two because the rear bumper on my car was changed. Normally you only have a third brake light on the rear bumper when you have a convertible, and you have a third brake light above your hatch if, you know, you got a coupe like I got. Even though I have seen some coupes like mine, so where they don't have a third brake light up top, some people get rid of that one, keep the one on the bumper, whatever. In some of those cases, they get rid of those lights whenever they have to replace parts. In my case, they replaced the back bumper. I don't know if the back bumper was hit or whoever had the car before my dad backed into something. But anywho, the back bumper was changed, so that's why I have a third brake light on my bumper as well as one above the hatch. I decided to keep both of them and just run with the same kind of light. When I'm on a motorcycle, man. Install the same kind of light in that brake light on the bumper as I did above the hatch. So I need to get those wired back up. Of course, tighten down all of my brake lights. I had to replace a couple of those lenses because the bottom socket where you put the bolt to tighten those lights up, two of those were cracked, so I replaced those, tinted all of those lights. I still have to tint my fog lights, which those will be coming pretty soon, man. Got plenty of content coming to the channel when I get this car done. I got plenty of shows to hit. So y'all stay tuned, man. Get a job when I get up here to the shop.
We threw the adhesion promoter to get them rubber, that kind of rubber. So we threw the adhesion promoter on there. I'm like, okay, cool. And then painted them, cleared them, walked off, came back. They shrunk. It shriveled. I was like, what the? So I had to let it dry. I let it dry, scuff sand them, paint them, clear them, walk off. Stefan started sanding. He's sanding. He going to town. We got the plastic up. I'm like, I come back, it's dust all in it.
Everywhere,
yo. Everywhere. I was hurt. I was like, damn. So your paint job ain't it. Appreciate y'all. What's your number, bro? Like, I gotta lock you in, bro.
That's what I need. That's my motivation.
I don't want a yes man. Like, call me out for my flaws and shit like that. That's my thing. It's just, like back then, like that red car, I painted that almost a year. I painted that almost 2 years ago. Now I got water. But I painted that almost 2 years ago, and I look back and see like, damn, I was letting that shit slide. So like every time I see a Durango, I'm honestly kind of impressed with it though.
Yeah.
I'm honest. I think that might have been like my 10th paint job.
Yeah.
Barely that, like.
And I got a spray can with that paint in there. I just went to the car wash today, and I was like, well, spray this joint off, scuff inside these wheel wells. Well, you know what I mean? That ice done scraped the joint off. Yeah, I see it getting a little bit of a touch up there. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of old dude's name, not Sprayway, the other cat, True Grit Customs or whatever his name is. Watching his last little rant, he was like, hey, if y'all don't fuck with me, you know what? Fuck y'all. He said a lot of it is just because I guess he be cracking a bunch of jokes like on his channel or whatnot. And I guess some people get sensitive to it, or you know what I mean, they don't like some of the stuff that he's doing. Like, bro, you ain't gotta watch it. It's like some of the people talking about, you know what I mean, stuff that I've done to the Corvette. Oh, well, I would have left it this way, or I wouldn't have done.
You go get that, man. Bro, I'm telling you, all my comments are good. The good outweighs the bad by a landslide.
Yeah.
But you gonna have negative comments. I got to the point where it used to bother me. It used to bother me like, I ain't gonna cap, it stopped bothering me over a year ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it used to get to me, but like you have to, the internet will spare you.
Man.
They will not spare you anything. So I mean, I get old videos. I get comments on some of my, well, why didn't you like, bro? It's,
man.
Everything that I do, I self-talk, bro. I remember I used to paint cars, prime.
Because it's almost kind of like the, how did the old saying go? You can please some of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all the time.
Exactly.
And to get to a point where you're like, man, I'm not trying to please everybody. Like, the only people that you should worry about pleasing is the people that you're in business with. Now, don't get me wrong, the people that you're talking to on YouTube, and I'm talking to y'all. Y'all may be watching this video, y'all may be subscribed to the channel, whatever the case is. You know what I mean? If you like the content, cool. If it ain't for you, that's cool too. I'm just jumping on here, you know what I mean, to give information to people who are looking for the information.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? If you just come across it, you know what I mean, you play the video, you like the content, I appreciate y'all. If you don't, that's cool too.
Exactly. The videos that I make is for myself. It's just a documentary. Because I watch my old videos. And be like, wow, I was a dumbass back then. Like, or you know, it just keep me humble. It keep me humble, and then I remember where I was back then or what I was doing. Like I said, it's just being able to watch those old videos and learning from them, just learning my mistakes, learning the do's and don'ts. So that's another reason why I do what I do. So,
and then to look back and look at the growth.
Oh,
And that's like that screenshot I sent you, because I went back and watched, I think it was one of your videos and then it was one of mine. And I want to say it was not too long before I brought you to Durango. And I was like, man, that's when that young boy first started, because your dreads was and maybe about this. It was like a pinky's length. And I was like, you joint done grew out, like, you know what I mean? Between looking at that and then, you know what I mean, the growth on how you take a car in, the prep process, you know what I mean, stuff that you do now that you weren't doing then, where you like, all right, well, yeah, I learned this.
And you gotta crawl before you walk, and I think that's where everybody get that misconstrued. When we talking about earlier, when somebody starts a business, they automatically think they're top tier professional. Not me as a business owner, but the customers and other people. Like, they automatically think like you're just, you know, the best in the city. Like, nah, like I just started the business, so if I miss something or if I got overspray or this or that, it's a learning process, you know. So, and then there's people that's like, oh, well, if you don't know that much, then you shouldn't do it. Well,
You gotta start somewhere.
yeah, you gotta start somewhere. So, and not everybody can get these. It's not as accessible to answers. So you figure it out. Most of everything that I know, I figured out myself.
Yeah.
I figured it out because either YouTube didn't have it or I couldn't find the answers. Just, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I like learning stuff on my own. So, but every project I learn from. Like, I now have an idea of how to paint a Corvette. This is probably my second Corvette. The first one was the red one. Yeah, so this is my second Corvette. Been a very long time, but now I'm like, okay, there's an easier way. There's an easier way. But yeah, man, for the most part, overall, man, life is just, you're gonna always learn something new every day.
Yeah. You figure it out along the way.
Yep.
Because that's just like I said, I'm not certified mechanic by any means. I'm not top tier, but I know a little bit about a little bit. You know what I mean? Me and my wife was talking about this the other day, which is actually kind of funny. Me and my wife chop it up. Wife's like one of the homeboys. And when I say that in the sense of the type of conversations that we have. Because, you know, most people in relationships, you have conversations about like relationship stuff, bill stuff in the house, whatever the case is. I said, but me and her have conversations about everyday life stuff, how we gonna make some money, you know what I mean? How we raising these kids, you know what I mean? People that we're around, and certain stuff that is viewed by the world a certain way. When I say I know a little bit about it, when I started working on this car, I didn't know everything that it was to be known about working on a car, especially under the hood, you know. But in getting certain information, whether it be about the car or whether it be about life in general, I said, we've all heard that saying, the jack of all trades, but a master of none. Most people use that as a negative saying because most people don't know the full saying of that saying. You know what I mean? Does anybody, you know what the actual saying is? The full saying, the actual saying, or the complete saying of it is a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Yeah. But a jack of all trades is better than a master of one. Okay. I'm kind of paraphrasing. I know I'm kind of chopping it up a little bit. Y'all don't get on my head. But it's basically talking about, in a nutshell, the more info that I have, the more valuable that I am. You know what I mean? To where it's like, if you're a master of one thing and all you know how to do is that one thing, but I know how to do 10, even though I'm not as good as you in that one thing, I'm still more valuable than you are.
Knowledge.
Bruh.
Not money. No.
But yeah, y'all don't be on my head because I done, you know what I mean, butchered that saying.
But yeah, man, just
you got to get that info.
And not everybody, it's not meant for everybody.
Everybody's cool.
Meant for everybody.
Yeah, and some people are cool with being stagnant. And it's like, if you cool with being in that position and not progressing any further, hey, by all means, that's you. You know what I mean? Like my man's over here. He was cool with making the dough we was making when he was out there tinkering when he moved around, and now he's at a position where he's like, I can't go back to a 9 to 5. Like I said, you have to work much harder, but the reward is bigger. Some people, you know what I mean, don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, and it's definitely a risk. I don't mind sharing with you guys because I want y'all to understand, especially because there's a lot of people on my channel that want to be business owners and stuff like that. You are not going to. It's not what you think. Like, being a business owner is not instantly rich. It's not instantly a lot of money. It's not like that. Now, there's some people that, yeah, but I got employees, I got payroll, I got an overhead, stuff like that. I'm the last one to get paid. You know, me and Mom was talking about that today. Like, it's not as easy as you think. And then you got to find trustworthy people. Then you got to find people that's actually motivated and have the what is it? I'm not gonna say energy, but have the mindset to just do what you do like you or better. That's the hardest part, is finding that. But other than that, working on a car and on a project with perfection takes time. It takes time. And then, like we was talking about earlier today, it's just if everything goes smooth, then yeah, it's a short time limit. But if it's like none of y'all seen how many times I had to repaint the side pieces, or how many times we had to re-clear the back bumpers and front bumpers and mirrors. Yep. Or how time consuming this overspray is. Now,
you see what he doing.
Yeah.
So for y'all that don't know what he doing.
But yeah, so I gotta prep. I take full accountability. If there's a run, it's cracked windshield, pop tire, everybody's looking at these old wheels. They're not looking at the body tech, they're not looking at the painters, they're looking at me. So I got a prepper, they come in and they cover up they do the masking. I have a body tech, they do the body, the body work. Now, the reason it's my responsibility is because I'm the one that has to check over. Did I check over? No. I glanced over like, hey, it's done. Paint. This is what you get as the boss. This is what you gotta deal with. So it's little stuff like that. Being a business owner, it's not as simple as everybody makes it to seem. Yeah. So you gotta deal with shit that you don't even excuse the lingo, but you gotta deal with things that you aren't expecting to deal with. Yeah. So yeah. Other than that, man, shoot, razor blade is the best way. Now, if you got tint on the outside, don't take a razor blade to any tint. Don't take a razor blade to mirrors. Glass, you're not gonna scratch up the glass. You're gonna take more time taking the overspray off if you use chemical or anything like that. So razor blade, you won't hurt anything. You do gotta be cautious. Don't nick the paint, none of that. So yeah, but
message.
Message, but yeah, man. It's fun. You really know you're meant to do it when you start loving it. I love it.
Yeah.
I love doing this more than I am overwhelmed or stressed about it.
Yeah.
I hated it a few times. I was like, you know what? I'd rather go. I think I reached back out to you, like, hey man, tell them guys I'm coming back. Like,
yeah,
I'm coming back. So
yeah.
But now I'm to the point to where I love it. I just gotta perfect it and take my. I do want to be a little bit faster though, but I will not jeopardize my quality over speed. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And here comes the rain.
It's good stuff here. Good stuff here, people.
Yeah, man. So whatever you're doing, man, you gotta stay consistent because I almost gave up. I promise you at least 15, 20 times. So if you're running a business or you're interested in running a business, or even if you're working out, whatever, no matter what you're doing, whether it's a sport, stay consistent.
Consistency is key.
Yeah, you're not gonna make it if you stop.
Bro.
You lose when you give up.
Man.
Yeah. So, but
don't look at how much time you taking.
3 years at it, man.
Man.
And I'm
like,
not rich. I don't have my Hellcat. I don't have my Lambo.
Oh, trust me, they coming. I know you seen that video what Ice Cube was saying. He said, man, if you're not willing to jump into something and not make shit for at least 5 to 10 years, he's like, don't even start. He said, because it's going, you know, most people who have businesses, start businesses, not saying everybody, but there's a lot of people like you don't really start seeing your return. You know what I mean?
That's true.
It takes time. You got to build up clientele. You got to build up skills. You know what I mean? All of that different stuff before you really start becoming fluent in the business area. See that? See how I'm using them words? Y'all ain't even know I had it all like that. Let me look up that. What does that mean? But shit, man.
Yeah, man. You got to paint it with the 4 coats. 4 coats to clear. No, 3 coats to clear. 3 coats to black. Jams and all. Picking it apart, doing it the right way. Of course, when you only got 2 people, it takes a little bit of time, but we're this far. Hey, it's gonna be loud, so apologize in advance.
Yeah. Hopefully the audio is coming through the way it's supposed to. I didn't realize I was holding the phone a certain type of way, so the sound may be a little muffled. I hope it's not. Again, the learning process. Doing YouTube and other things, you learn things as you're going on. So hopefully the audio was what it's supposed to be, especially with this rain kicking up. I'm gonna get at y'all in a minute, cut this back on, let my man finish handling his biz. We're gonna kind of wipe down the joint, let y'all get an idea of what it's gonna start to look like. And then I'll be back. Get this joint buffed and we in the game. See, his partner came back and I spilled all the beans, said he don't be up here doing shit.
See? Go check the video. Go check on my page. His hair was not cut today. Yeah. Lunch hasn't started. Lunch has not started yet.
Said
fresh fade. Hey, lunch? I was thinking we should go somewhere and eat. No. Next clip like ain't nothing happened. Yeah, you know, so back to it.
Man. Said, you know what? Said, hey man, that's perks to the job. I'm about to go get a fade right quick. You have my permission.
Oh man. What time?
Yeah, buddy.
2-3 o'clock.
Man, y'all talking about lunch shit. I'm probably about to go get something to eat too.
Yep. We need new management around here. Boss don't ever let us leave.
Y'all just wait. Y'all just wait.
This make me want a Corvette.
Yeah. Ain't
I
no
like Corvette, but this one, I don't like. The dash sold me.
You might as well go ahead, bring the rims up here. Come on, man. We'll mount them up for you. Spin around the block. Go downtown.
Hey, I'm gonna take a page out of your book. I've been humble this whole time, but just know, once I get finished, I'm on y'all ass. I'm on y'all ass.
Try to be humble.
Man. Shit, y'all see what's going on? And it's not even finished, man. I I said, we'll give y'all a quick update. Try not to slow down the process of what they got going on around him. You're gonna say, or what my man got going on over here, because according to him, he don't do nothing. No. Man. Finished project coming soon.
Took some time, but we finally here.
That's what y'all gotta learn, man. Y'all can't rush the process. Most of them be wanting their car done in 2-3 days. It don't work like that. Don't work like that.
That's when everything goes smooth.
Yeah.
When you're doing stuff, I don't know, when you come in, clock in, knock out, painting is just most of the time a cakewalk. But when you're doing it yourself, it's different. When you're going into business, it's different. I don't know, it just seems like everything that could go wrong will go wrong. And when it comes to a paint job, I don't think there's much that I haven't experienced. I've had a bird come in my booth, shit, and leave. Like, literally, I'm not making it up. I've had...
Say, man, you gotta look at the read in between the lines. The bird was just trying to say, hey, I just want to come in and let you know you the shit.
Exactly. Like, yeah, that. I've had plastic land. Like literally, you know what happened? I painted a Mercedes, laid the clear coat down, walked out, came back, and the masking paper was completely covered the hood. And that's actually on my channel as well. Dust, dirt, runs, pigment sags.
Crazy.
Somebody touching it just to check to see if it was wet. It was wet.
Is this dry yet?
Is this dry? Yeah. So it's what comes with it, man. You gotta be mentally prepared for the worst. Even a ceiling leak. We got a few leaks that gotta be fixed. They gotta replace the whole roof, but yeah, that's a different story. But man, I'm pretty excited about this one. It's just last thing is to get it buffed, color sand and buff. So take it all the way up to some 3,000 grit and be done with it.
Yeah. So. And I'm gonna get off here so my man can get back. Work over there. I'm over interrupting the progress, man. Working done right here.
It's Friday.
Yeah.
He had been here all day. He leaves in 2 hours. Cleanup is an hour before leaving.
All right, man. So, as y'all can see, man, it's almost done. Painted back together. So like I said, went up there. Bumpers were off, doors were off, the roof was off, the rear hatch was off. Got it all back together now. It's a few finishing touches that we got to figure out, get back together. Pieces of trim, which again, if you got an old school, you understand some of those pieces are a little bit brittle. I mean, as old as the car is, some of that stuff is gonna break. Some of that stuff, some of the screws aren't gonna come off the way they're supposed to, so you know what I mean, you're gonna have to finesse them off of there, if you will, you know, to get those parts off of there the way the other ones come off. But you would like for all of the screws to come off, nothing to be stripped out, and you know, for everything to go back on there the way it's supposed to. It's not necessarily the case sometimes. So with that being said, man, like I said, the car's 35 years old. Some of that stuff is not going to come off the way you would like it to. So maybe 1 or 2 trim pieces that I'm going to have to replace, just depending. I mean, he said he's gonna work with him, see if he can make some clamps to get some of that trim to go back on the way that it's supposed to. If not, no big deal. It's a couple pieces that I gotta order, get those on, or get those ordered, get them sprayed, get those put back on. Because like I said, I want everything to be clean. I don't want any issues anywhere as far as that is concerned, with stuff not being painted, or whatever the case is. So yeah, man. And then when I get the car back, which like I said, he's supposed to holler at his guy that does the color sanding and buffing over the weekend. Hopefully gets in touch with him, and hopefully I can get it buffed this week coming up, get it back, get it put back together, you know what I mean, slap my rims on there, which may not put them on there super. I mean, I'm not in a hurry to get them back on ASAP because I still have a couple things to do. Like I said, I still got shocks at the house. I had to get those put on, which I'll probably get all of that stuff put on, change my brakes and all that other good stuff before I put the rims on there. Once I get that stuff done, of course, want to clean up those control upper and lower control arms, check all of those bushings to see if any of that stuff needs to be restored or replaced, not restored. If any of that stuff needs to be replaced, replace all of that stuff, kind of go back over my suspension, make sure everything is everything. Then once I do that, clean up a few other things up under the hood, any wires that I've run, any of the stuff that I've hooked up, because I had to run a relay, new wiring harness and relays for my headlights to work, because if you watched any of my videos or just approach it as you're new to the channel, replace the factory halogen bulbs with, pretty much changed everything to LED, whether it's side markers, interior lights, headlights, reverse lights, all the, well, I haven't changed reverse lights yet, so I need to change those. Pretty much all my lights I've gone LED, but for my headlights to work, I had to order a different wiring harness that has 2 relays on it. So I need to mount those boxes, which they're fine where they are, but like I said, I want to clean all of that stuff up. So probably tap into that firewall, mount those 2 relays, get all of those wires tightened up, pretty much clean everything up, hide all of those wires, get me some, I don't know exactly what you call it. You know what I'm talking about, the stuff that you tuck those wires in with. I'll find the correct name, terminology, that right in here, so you know what I'm talking about. So I can get all those wires tucked up, get it cleaned up under there so nothing is out. I have to install my new stainless steel overflow tank for my radiator, being that the plastic one that was on there, that one was cracked, which I'd already started taking that one loose. Get that on there, get that bolted up. After that, I still plan on pulling my valve covers off, getting those degreased, cleaned up, spraying those like I did the intake runners, which of course I have a video of all of that stuff coming up. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, all my car guys, you know what I'm talking about. Get that stuff off, get those cleaned up, get those painted. There's an emblem that goes on the valve cover on the passenger side. I may replace that. I'm undecided as of right now. I may go ahead and change it. I don't know yet. Outside of that, once I get those off, get those cleaned up, painted, and pretty much matched to the car, which how I have the runners painted, I have those black, and then there are these little stripes. I don't know if you would call them stripes, but little grooves, if you will, that are on there. Fire truck coming down the street. I plan on painting the top of those the same color as my interior.
Look, Daddy.
Yeah, I see it. So, like I was saying, man, get that stuff painted. Those little ridges that are in there, paint the top of those the same color as the interior. Just trying to add a little bit of detail, man, but not trying to be too matchy-matchy, if you will. Because I was going to paint my calipers the same color as my interior as well, being that I have that paint on hand. Took a piece of my interior up to the paint shop. They mixed me up the paint that's going to match my interior, which I've already painted a couple pieces. If you haven't watched my last video, painted my emblems, the ones that go on the hood, fuel door, and on the back. Painted all of those, just the face of them. Like I said, I was going to paint my calipers, but I decided against that because I have so much red already going on with the rims, as far as like the face of the rim, and then I did maybe about 2 inches inside of the barrel of the rim. So I don't want to add too much red, so the verdict's still out on if I'm going to do those calipers or not. As of right now, not. So my weather strip in, all of that good stuff. Like I said, I'm trying to be ready for upcoming car shows, which it'll kind of be cutting it close for one of them. There's a car show coming up. It's pretty much a car and bike show out in Spencer here in Oklahoma. Try to get to that joint. That's on July 1st, I believe, if I'm remembering that correctly. Today is the 23rd, so if he can get in touch with the guy that color sands and buffs, and he can get it buffed sometime around Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest, then that'll give me enough time to at least get my interior back together, all of that stuff, and then make that car. But if not, I'm not going to rush it. If it's any time beyond Wednesday, then I'm not going to put a rush on it. Mainly want to make the Oklahoma Donk Show July 22nd. So if you're in Oklahoma, around Oklahoma, you may want to come check that out, man. We got some heat down here. So pretty much everybody that's anybody is going to be down there. It's in Lexington, Oklahoma, down at Thunder Valley, where they have the racetrack at. Cats go down there and race, you know what I mean? Or if you don't want to race, you just want to run a quarter mile or whatnot, try to check and see what your car will do. You don't necessarily have to race anybody. You can just get out there and run your car and see what kind of numbers that is putting up. But it'll be out there in Lexington. I want to make that, that's the, like I said, July 22nd. It's another car show. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is and who's sponsoring it. If I can't remember it, which I can't offhand, put that right in here somewhere. And that is the 23rd. That one you have to pay a fee for. I think I'm going to enter my car into that show. That one's indoors. It's the way that they did it last year. It's indoors. So just kind of want to get out there, man, and start putting the car in some of these shows, start getting some exposure, especially being that the car is now about to be finished. So yeah, man, so y'all stay tuned, man. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Continue to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Just continuing to try to build up the channel, man. Continuing to bring y'all content, whether it be car shows, whether it be the content just over the cars. I need to start putting back out more content over the Durango. Kind of let it slip down and move to the back burner, because I've been trying to get this Corvette done, man. Just gonna kind of enjoy it for right now. Like I said, I want to do a truck next, which will probably be a while before I do another build, just because I got a few things on the list to finish up with the Corvette. So till next video, man.